Good morning and welcome to the Stahls TV Morning Show. I'm your only host today, Josh Ellsworth, and I look forward to sharing with you a little bit from our Industry Ignited Forecasting 2016 class and really making some of the ideas that you watched in that class come to life through application. So in that class, which was at the end of December, my brother and I, Zach, sat down and we talked about trends that may impact your business in the upcoming year 2016. That class is viewable on stahlstv.com under the archives. You can navigate right to it and play it if you haven't had a chance to watch it yet. If you haven't, no big deal, we're going to catch you up. So the idea in that class is we broke down the presentation into three segments. There were trends in apparel, in new styles coming out from industry suppliers as well as old styles that are trending. There were trends from a decoration standpoint with what you can actually do. And then there were business trends, sort of how you grow your business, what you need to be aware of from a market and industry perspective. So today we're going to sort of blend the apparel and the decoration trends together to give you three hands-on examples as part of the morning show. The rest of our hosts are traveling, so you have me today. Feel free to chat in questions. We have Joe and Karen that will be helping to answer those throughout the session. But we have a lot to jam-pack into a short time, so we're going to walk you through these applications. And we'd certainly invite you to visit the Stahls TV forum if you have any additional questions in depth, and I'll be on there to answer those as well. So let's start into the presentation. And I want to first pull up a slide for you that's called Texture in Textiles. So this was one of the big trends that we see is whether it's actual texture or just visible texture in apparel, this is happening for 2016. I actually just returned a few days back from the ASI show in Orlando and had a chance to look at pretty much a half of a booth full of items from Sanmar that's coming in the upcoming year. And the styles, a lot of them incorporated textures. And so if we look at the center of our screen, we'll see the Port Authority Ladies Digi-Stripe Fleece Jacket L231. This is a polyester fabric, so it's very much in trend with the performance wear. The customers are demanding, and also you get that nice visual texture to the garment. Now, when you look at a garment like this, it can be a little bit challenging to decorate because we need to take some special consideration specifically to address the performance wear, and I'll show you that momentarily. If we look to the right of that on your screen, you'll see the marble fleece shirt from Bella Canvas. We've actually ordered one of these in as well to show you some decoration techniques. So as you start to look at different textures, you'll see when we're encountering garments with texture, often they show up in one of these three categories. You see the marbled fleece, you see the tri-blend, or you see the slub cotton. Some of these actually have a smooth surface, whereas the slub cotton has a little bit more of a textured surface and ridges that you need to sort of get around or make sure that you don't compress when you heat press the actual garment. So all of these have in common is that they tend to be a bit heat sensitive, so we would recommend using a low temp heat transfer material in your application. So as we look at textures in textile, we'll decorate those specific pieces here in the moment, but before we do that, I want to frame the whole presentation for you. And so the next thing we see is the Glaze Craze. And so we are actually going to, just to talk a little bit about this, number one is we're seeing top coats or semi-transparent material used not only directly on the fabric but on top of other heat transfer films. In these particular examples, on the top left, the Run design, you see our SuperTech Clear gloss product used on top of a neon pink heat transfer media. So we'll create a look exactly like this except on top of Black Premium Plus on that Digi-Stripe jacket. Also, you'll see in the bottom right a new product we have launching in the coming 30 days, and this is called CAD Cut Glaze, believe it or not, and it comes in 5 different colors. It can be cut on your vinyl cutter and not only applied directly to the garment but on top of other films. So we'll experiment with this metallic foil-like glaze in an application onto the marbled fleece sweatshirt. So without further ado, let's go up to our heat press. And today we're going to be working with the Hotronix Fusion heat press, which is our swing away and also our drawer style press. And the thing that we love about this press is that it is fully threadable and it has the interchangeable attachments, which is a really big deal for decorating some of these fabrics. Let's go ahead and start with our marbled fleece garment. I'm sorry, with our DigiStripe garment. So we have the garment here. It's a small size. It's 100% polyester, and we've pre-cut a design out of CAD Cut Premium Plus and also the SuperTech Clear Gloss. Now the beauty of these two products is they both apply at 280 degrees. So it's going to limit or eliminate the scorch mark on any fabric that you decorate with it. Low temp is definitely something you need to focus on in 2016. But in addition to doing a low temp application to effectively get rid of scorch marks and print through, you need to get a very flat printing surface. And for that, excuse me, we're going to change this lower platen. I'm going to swap out the 16 by 20. It's a very easy interchange on these Hotronix heat presses, and we'll give you a close-up view here for how this has changed. Swing my press over, and we are going to load the 6 by 10 attachment, which drops right in, and then you lock it into place. So that's not going to move at all. And what that's going to give me the ability to do is now split open my jacket, thread it onto the press to get all of the zipper and the excess seams as off as the press as I can. Now you notice there's still a little bit of seam structure here, so you can make the choice. You can load in a Print Perfect pad to raise that print area up and fully get rid of the seams, or if you're confident that it's not going to impact that seam structure, you can go from there. I would prefer to raise this up just to ensure an accurate application. So I'm going to load my Print Perfect pad. Now you'll notice how it's all, the seams are falling over the edge, so I'm not going to have any issue with print through. Now anytime you load a new attachment on or add thickness, you want to make sure that you dial in your pressure. And so I'm going to retract the pressure knob, just knowing that I added some extra thickness there. Lock the machine down, ensuring I don't lock it down with too much pressure because I don't want to damage the garment, to get the desired pressure on the application. Once you've done that, this is a two-step application process, so I'm going to start with the Premium Plus material. I'm going to line that up on the shirt, making sure it's straight, and I'm going to lock that down with the cover sheet. For just a couple seconds to get it to tack down into place. And the reason I only do a few seconds is I don't want that material to actually shrink on the garment and cause an issue with aligning my glaze or my foreground color on top of it. So Premium Plus is a warm peel, so I just tack it down, let it cool down just for a couple seconds. It's basically pause and peel. And now I'm able to line my foreground up. Now it's tough to see this because it's sort of transparent here, but you can kind of see the image there on screen. This is my SuperTech Clear Gloss, and I'm going to register it directly over top of my print. So this is a really cool effect. You can just buy this material by the roll for your vinyl cutter, and it does not have a sticky backing, so you just want to be careful when you're placing your cover sheet that you're not going to shift your image. If you have concerns, you can always use thermal tape. And then this application, I want to make sure I get a full 8 seconds on the Premium Plus. So on the Tech Clear, I have the option to do either a straight 10-second application or break it up into 2/5. So since Premium Plus needs 8 seconds anyways, I've done a full 10-second single-step application, and this is a cold peel. So I'm going to pull this off of the press, and we'll come back and pull this momentarily after I complete my other shirts to take a final look at it. So we're going to keep you zoomed in at the heart of the press here for our next application as well, which is going to be this marble fleece sweatshirt from Bella Canvas. Now another thing that we mentioned in the class is that placement is key. And so you notice that more and more interchangeable attachments are launching for these style of presses. In 2015, we saw the addition of the hat bill platen. We also saw the addition of the leg and sleeve platen, which I'm loading on the machine now. And this is a full 20-inch long print by 6 inches wide on the leg and sleeve. So I'll split open the neck of my sweatshirt. You can see we have a nice marbled fleece. You get that visual texture. This is a really nice garment. And I'm going to split that open and thread it onto the machine. Just being sure that it's centered. I'm just feeling the seam underneath the press and it's centered fully on there. I load that into place once again, double checking my pressure anytime I change out a platen. Next, I'll grab my application. All of these designs are cut on a vinyl cutter. If you don't own a vinyl cutter by now, you really should in your business. If you don't have access to a vinyl cutter, however, we can always cut these designs for you at Stahls. The particular product that I'm heat transferring on is called fashion film. We've cut it in a nice long print to go fully down our sleeve. And if you don't have this heat press, you don't have an attachment, you can always have a heat printing pillow that you can actually shove into the sleeve and lay it across your full 16 by 20 platen to hit this application area. Now, fashion film applies 320 degrees. I believe it's 15 seconds. Just for demonstration, we're running the press a little bit low, but you would definitely want to have it up to the full setting for your applications. You peel away the carrier after it's done. It's a hot peel. And we've decorated this full sleeve. This graphic's about 1.5 inches by 20 inches, so we're talking 30 square inches. I have about 30 cents in material and waste for this application. So sleeve print's done, and now we want to get to a left chest placement on this fleece to really show you this Glaze Craze come to life with not just a 2-color application, but a 3-color application. So we're going to go back on with the 16 by 20 attachment. Split and thread my sweatshirt on. Now, on a left chest application, I'm sort of going to pull top shoulder on a standard crew neck. You can see I'm pinching top shoulder, and I'll go the center of my graphic, the line directly down from the top shoulder. Now, you'll notice that this garment has a very unique seam structure in that it has sort of like a drop sleeve where the seams are a little bit closer. So this isn't traditional to where I'm going to have these hanging off of the platen. It's a fleece fabric, so it's cotton. I'm not really worried about leaving a heat press mark on this. If I were, once again, I can use this pad to raise my print area, or I can use a smaller attachment to have that drop off at the side. So for my 3-color application, we're going to do 2 colors of fashion film. We're going to tie in that same charcoal color. Once again, pinching top shoulder, running a line down to make sure I'm at left chest. We're just going to tack that on for a few seconds. Remove the carrier. This is the beauty of multicolor application with products like Fashion Film or Premium Plus. We're just tacking these bottom layers, and this is the red material I'm bringing over top. Couple seconds. I know that Fashion Film won't stick to my heater. That's why I'm not worried about using a cover sheet here. This is a product that you can apply directly over. However, just being safe, I would recommend a cover sheet for most applications. Now I am at 280 degrees. I started to see a little lifting on the edge here at my 280. So once again, I would be at 320, so it's causing me to do a little bit more than my normal 2-second tack to get it to adhere, but no big deal as long as you don't get aggressive and tear it off right away. You can always come back, heat and reheat, and get ready to pull the carrier. So it's much better after I did about 6 seconds at that lower temperature. And then now I'm going to, that could easily be done, but now I'm going to apply my glaze. Okay, so this product is a Foil Tech shift product, which is in our print and cut line, but until we launch that new CAD cut glaze I was telling you about, this is going to give me the same effect but in a printable product. So basically, instead of printing and cutting it, I just cut it and masked it. You apply the glaze directly over top of the design, and you'll see that this will come to life. So I get 2 steps of 5 seconds each. So I give it 5. It's more of a warm peel as well, so I'll pause and peel. And I hit it for the final application for an additional 5. So as you can see, you have something that's really unique. You get that metallic sheen across the whole design, and you also get sort of the show through in the different texture and dimension of the different colors. This is a very thin material, so it's still soft. You still have that stretch to it, and I have something completely unique that other decorators aren't going to be doing in their shop with this Glaze Craze. So after that application is complete, I should be cooled down on my other shirt, so I'll bring that back into frame here, and then you just start to peel the carrier away. This is the gloss top coat. And you just want to peel corner to corner. And we have a completed design. And so you can see everything looks wet, and even I put a little bit of an offset on here where you have some little overages on the design, so you can see where it covers just the striped fleece as well. You're getting sort of a wet look to it, so you could easily use this gloss straight on for the left chest graphic, or you can use it on top of any color of heat transfer film to give that high gloss look, and this is something that's going to stand out from a fair distance away. So a couple different looks showcasing different trends. Let's go back on screen here with the marbled fleece garment and also the digi-stripe garment to show texture. Now, if we can keep progressing through the Forecasting 2016 presentation and switch back over to the PowerPoint, I'm going to show you another look that was very popular as a result. And so the color blends and stripes from the blank apparel side has been popular. And if you look at the ombre print on the District Made ladies dip dye tee, that's the next one we're going to decorate. So we're seeing the fade effect or the ombre across not only blank apparel styles but decoration. It's just something that's been very popular, especially in the spirit market with ladies or juniors or even young girls. And then, of course, sublimation has been very popular. In particular, sublimating glitter is something we just can't get enough of. So we say sublimation plus whatever material equals a super transfer. In the visual here, you're seeing sublimation on twill, textured twill, poly twill, but we're also seeing sublimation on glitter down in the bottom of the screen. And so there's a couple different ways that you can sublimate on glitter. And number one is you can go direct to the fabric, especially if it's a dark fabric. But if you have a fabric that may be heat sensitive, like the dip dye shirt that we're going to decorate, you may want to sublimate direct to the glitter first and then take it over to the shirt. And so to show you what I mean by that, we have this heat press booted up to 385 degrees. I have the portion of my design that's the white glitter flake already cut and weeded and ready to apply, but I have just a panel of a sublimation print that I'm going to try to apply over to the glitter flake. I also have a non-stick cover sheet down. So what I'm going to do is, rather than go directly to the shirt, I'm actually going to sublimate the components of my design first. Now, you're going to have to manually hand place this, so you want to make sure it's not too intricate or difficult to place when you're using this method. So I'm going to start by tacking down, just for a couple seconds, the glitter flake to the carrier sheet. I'm going to pull it off of press just to let it cool down for a couple seconds so I can release the carrier, and the adhesive will hold to the non-stick cover sheet that I'm holding in my hand here. So I just wanted to cool it down. Obviously, if you're running production, you can apply a bunch of these, and then I remove my carrier and basically I get the top part of my design sticking to the nonstick cover sheet. And then I'll take my sublimation print, produced just off of one of the new Virtuoso printers from Sawgrass, which is a great sublimation printer, and I'm going to register it over top of my print. Now, a key here is you want to make sure your sublimation transfer is large enough. This one is not, so I'm going to grab some scissors, trim this apart. So I have scissors, we're going to trim this design apart, making sure I can split it to line it up. Position the pattern on each part of the design. Now, if your design is not big enough, or if you want to save on ink costs, this is one way to do it, where you can make the design a little smaller and then trim it apart to register it, or you can print a continuous design, depending on how thrifty you want to get on ink costs. But once you position that over, it needs to lock down for a full 40 seconds. So for those of you that understand sublimation, you know that this ink is now turning from a solid state into a gas. The glitter is actually a polyester-based material, so it's opening up the pores of the glitter, and the gas of the sublimation ink is actually dyeing the glitter, and when I open the heat press and it cools down, it's basically going to be locked or trapped in there. So I'm going to get great durability out of this print. It's not going to scratch off, and really I'm just colorizing my glitter with whatever color, whatever texture, whatever pattern I would like, which is how you create a super transfer, just by using sublimation in combination with one of these polyester-based materials. Now we'll pull this off. Now it is hot, it's 385 degrees. All right, so pull these off, and I've sublimated my background prints. Now before I start to lift this glitter off of the cover sheet, I just want to be careful, because that adhesive on the glitter is super hot right now, and if it touches itself, it's going to basically stick together. So I'm going to load my shirt onto the other heat press, which I have down at 280 degrees, and then we will peel this back and apply. So let's walk back over to the Fusion. And we'll clean it off and load my 11x15 attachment. Getting a workout today here in the studio with all these applications. We'll take this platen off. Very easy to register. And take off and drop my 11x15 in for this particular print. I'm not sure if I'll have to load it landscape or portrait, but the idea here is I'll get it onto the machine knowing I'm going to need that for this slimmer cut dip dye shirt from Sanmar with that ombre effect. And I'm going to split my garment and then load it onto the press. This is a scoop neck style, so your placement you're going to want to have higher on the actual press, given that it's a scoop neck, but I'm just going to load it on, and then let's switch you over to a close-up angle here. And I'll preheat my garment. Now anytime you have a dye treatment on the shirt, it makes sense to just preheat it, just to remove any moisture and wrinkles, and then also to dial in your pressure. When I change that platen out, the pressure does change. And so now, if this garment's heat sensitive, if it wouldn't take the sublimation temperatures at 385 degrees for that 40 seconds, what I've done is I've created a sublimation panel now that I can peel off and register directly over. So I'm going to peel this whole thing off. I'm just going to set it to the side for now while I get the other component off. So this is just a way to get a little more creative with your application, whether it's a sort of two-tone number style where not only we're getting the advantage of a pattern, but we're also getting some color blocking here, or if you're just sublimating a left chest logo, it's pretty unique to do it on top of glitter, because then that gives me the ability to heat apply onto dark fabrics, heat apply onto any fabric content with full color. So I'm going to first position my black part of my design. This is just cut out a standard glitter flake. And then I'm going to register my sublimation print to it. Obviously this is something completely unique now that we've created. Cover it with a cover sheet. and heat press at the standard glitter flake application time. Now, I know there are questions about whether or not this will impact the adhesion of the final application, and the answer is it will not. We've tested this. The glitter flake is still durable because you're still getting the adhesive. It's not sticking to your non-stick cover sheet. It's staying with the glitter. You just have to be a little bit more delicate with it as you're moving the product around and registering it. But the finished result, you can see, is just something that will wow your customer. It's outstanding. So we call this a super transfer. Not only do we have the sublimated white glitter, but we've combined that with our glitter flake in the black material, and the finished result is something that has a very high perceived value that you can sell at an extremely high price. So what I would encourage you to do now is visit stahlstv.com and watch the full version of the Forecasting 2016 presentation. Our industry is on fire right now. Heat printing is growing to a level that we never have seen before, and it's because you can get completely creative and create unique items that sell, that make you money with a very small investment of the heat press. We actually have read articles where other industry experts are saying the best expansion for an embroiderer is heat printing. The best expansion for a sign shop is heat printing. So the Stahls TV Morning Show is all about heat printing. We'd encourage you to visit us every Monday at 11 a.m. where this show is live. I'm Josh Ellsworth. Thanks for watching.